So today I'm going to be walking you through the herringbone crochet stitch pattern. It consists of 2 rows, a forward pass and a return pass, as you can see to form that arrow. That is characteristic of the herringbone pattern. We have to work a forward pass, which is recognizable by this left leaning stitch, and a reverse pass, which is recognizable by the right leaning stitch. This is the front of the fabric, and the back looks like this. So the back isn't very interesting. This is definitely a one-sided pattern, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, this swatch is blocked, so it has some pretty nice drape actually. I was surprised because as I was working it, it was a little stiffer than that. But yeah, so let's get into it. Like I mentioned, the stitch pattern has a forward pass and a return pass. I call the forward stitches the forward herringbone stitch, and the reverse pass stitches the reverse herringbone stitch. I think reverse sounds nicer than backwards, so that's what I call it. So yeah, we'll start with a forward pass since that starts off with a single crochet, which we are all hopefully familiar with. So yeah, I have just finished a reverse pass here, so I will chain 1 and turn and single crochet into the first stitch. But one thing to note is that these herringbone stitches create 3 loops: a front loop, a back loop, and a third loop. If you've half double crocheted a bunch, then you know that a half double crochet results in these same 3 loops. A single crochet only has the 2 loops. So just keep that in mind, because we want to work all our stitches through all 3 loops, and that will give us the cleanest herringbone stitch. So single crochet here into all 3 loops. Just make sure you're grabbing all 3. I don't know if it's very clear here, whatever. Single crochet. Yay! So if we look at our single crochet, we can see 2 legs, a left leg and a right leg. The left leg here is really tall because I pulled up a pretty tall loop, and that is because we are going to work through that left leg. So from right to left, stick your hook through that left leg and then into the next stitch, making sure you're going under all 3 loops. Pull up a loop. I like to pull this loop up pretty high because, again, we're working through that left leg, and it'll just make everything a bit easier, and it also gives that leg that, like, the room to form that diagonal. So yeah, so yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And that is our first herringbone stitch, our first forward herringbone stitch. So again, stick your hook through the left leg and then into the next stitch under all 3 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull it up there, sky high, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And you can see those diagonals starting to form there. So it's as simple as that. Just kind of like working a regular old single crochet, but we're working through that left leg and going through 3 loops. And because right here we have 3 loops on our hook, that's what gives us that third loop. Just a little fact. So yeah, keep doing that through to the end of the row, and then I'll show you how to do the reverse herringbone stitch. So again, through the left leg, into the next stitch under all 3 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And one thing to note when you get to the last stitch is, if you remember, our first stitch over here was a single crochet, and like I mentioned, a single crochet only has 2 loops. So the last stitch you're going to be working, you'll only need to go under 2 loops. So don't worry about trying to find a 3rd loop because it doesn't exist there. So yeah. So there is your first row of the forward herringbone stitch. Looks pretty good, huh? So now that we're at the end of the row, chain 1, turn your work, and then this is where we're going to start reverse crocheting. And to reverse crochet, it's really not that much more complicated than a regular single crochet. So what we're going to do here is work our first reverse single crochet. So take your hook, and from back to front, we want to insert our hook into this stitch, the first stitch, under all 3 loops again. Just back to front, grab the yarn, pull it through, and we have our 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull through both. And that is a reverse single crochet. I can show you a few more times and then we can pull it out and do our reverse herringbone stitch. But so take your hook from back to front under all 3 loops, grab the yarn, pull it up, yarn over, and pull through 2. We'll do it again. From back to front, under all 3 loops, grab the yarn, pull up, yarn over, and pull through those 2 loops. And so if you turn it around, you can see our nice little single crochets. But we worked them reverse style. So yeah, okay. Well, let's look at it here. When we're looking at these single crochets we just made, we can see our 2 legs again, the left leg and the right leg. So we want to look at, or we want to be working through the leg that is closest to the next stitch to get that nice diagonal bar. So let's pull out these 2 stitches that we did, and we're back to having just 1 single crochet, reverse single crochet. And so if we flip it this way, we want to be working through that leg, the leg that's closest to the next stitch. So from right to left, stick your hook through there, and then from back to front, just like our reverse single crochet, we want to stick our hook through all 3 loops, grab the yarn, pull it through, pull up that loop pretty high again like the forward herringbone stitch, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And so once we get going, that left leg that we want to work through, see if I can get it to focus, will become more obvious, especially since we're like really pulling that yarn up. Just stick it through. So again, through that leg, under all 3 loops of the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. And see that leg there? It's sticking out. So if we go through that into the next stitch from back to front, grab the working yarn, pull up the loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. If we turn it around, hey, we got some reverse herringbone stitches going on there. So let's keep going and finish off this row. through that loop, that leg closest to the next stitch, under all 3 loops of the next stitch, grab the yarn over, pull through all 3. So the only part I feel like that's like really different is going from back to front. But once you've kind of like gotten used to that, it's pretty much the same. So yeah, let's just go to the end. I will meet you there. Again, into that leg, into the next stitch under all 3 loops, pull that yarn sky high, yarn over, pull through all 3. And again, when you reach that last stitch, there's only 2 loops to work through. So don't try looking for a third for too long. Work that last stitch. There you go. Looks pretty good. Yeah, let me know if you try it and what you think of the stitch. And if there's anything that I could clarify here for you. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. I hope to see more herringbone crochet stitches in the future. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and share it with anyone else you think who would like to learn this stitch. Okay, bye!